All right. Moving right along here, we're gonna talk about. We were just talking about how YouTube was helping him be because he's being ratioed to death. We're gonna move on to the our illustrious President Joe Biden, the most loved president in human history, American history at least. Got more votes than any president ever in the history of America without leaving his basement. So, if you haven't been following along, when Biden got in the White House, they made a fuss about Trump didn't have a dog in the White House. What kind of president doesn't have a dog in the White House? So they went and got Biden some dogs, and they didn't just get Biden any dogs; they got him German shepherds. But one of them's bit somebody, and apparently it's happening again. And I mean, I blame Biden, but we'll get into that. Let's get into this story because it's always the owner; it's never the dog. So Major, one of Biden's German shepherds bites another person, White House said. Major, one of President's two German shepherds, was involved in another biting incident at the White House this week, his second in less than a month, the White House said Tuesday. The incident involved a National Park Service employee on the South Lawn on Monday afternoon, which is first put in story. Major is still adjusting to his new surroundings, and he nipped someone while on a walk, Michael LaRosa, press secretary, First Lady Joe Biden, said in a statement. Out of an abundance of caution, the individual was seen by the White House's medical unit and then returned to work without injury. But they said like there was hospital. Yeah, no, I don't buy that. I don't buy it was just nipped. Biden's being senile. He's falling upstairs. He's like anyway. German shepherds are beautiful, but they're difficult dogs, especially alpha dogs, a male alpha dog. Like that's why we use them for police, and we use them like it takes a strong hand, and it has to be the same hand. You brought him in, and you're trying to like change the way his procedure was working, even if he had a routine, and now you're putting him in a new routine. And you're telling new people to walk him, and they're not going to respect you at all because the person that's probably doing that job is probably beta. Just saying. It's the first time Major got negative press since Biden's election, despite the much heralded return of dogs to the White House after a drought of presidential campaigning. Despite that, no, he's bitten twice. In November, Biden slipped while playing with Major and injured his foot. Has this slipped temporarily? Yeah, I want to know why, because this happened when he was taking a shower and he turned around and he said he pulled the dog. Like, why is the dog in the shower with you? I'm just saying. Earlier this month, Major, who was about 3 years old, reportedly nipped at the Secret Service agent's hand at the White House. The bite didn't break the agent's skin, and there was no bleeding, according to the White House official who spoke on a condition of anonymity, described the sensitive subject. Attacking. Like, oh my God. Major returned to Biden's home in Delaware for a brief time after the first biting incident, and as his absence was noticed, questions arose about what would become of the German Shepherd. Yeah, I hope he gets a better home and you don't just euthanize him because he's already bitten twice, and in some states you have to euthanize him, but it's not the fucking dog's fault, it's the owner. If you gave that dude, that dog, a solid fucking home, a solid alpha, and a solid routine, it would not be doing that garbage. Biden was unfit, and the person who gave him that dog should have their license to handle animals revoked. I'm just saying. The White House was initially silent on the biting incident, but later offered a partial explanation, the equivalent of saying Major was taking the time away from his official duties to spend time with the family. With the First Lady traveling for 3 days, Champ and Major went to Delaware to stay with family friends, LaRosa said then. A fully explanation came a short time later when White House Press Secretary Jen Pulaski was asked about it on the news briefing and responded with what appeared to be a prepared statement diffusing the darkest theories about the pet's fate. Champ and Major, the President and the First Lady's dogs, are members of the family and still getting acclimated and accustomed to the new surroundings, the new people, and then reading from their note. Yeah, okay, I don't get it. You bought it as a publicity stunt. And you should not have helped him with that, whoever gave him that dog. You should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. Major, she added, has been surprised by an unfamiliar person and reacted in a way that resulted in a minor injury to that individual. Yeah, okay. Biden's adopted in 2018 from the Delaware Humane Society. A photo from the society showed the man who would become 46th president holding a leashed puppy in his hand beneath the humane symbol, a human hand reaching out to the animal's paw. Yeah, it was a fucking publicity stunt, and you allowed it to happen. If that dog gets euthanized, it's your fucking fault. Major was one of the half a dozen puppies brought to the rescue agents after they came in contact with something toxic in their home, according to the society. couldn't afford veterinary care and surrendered animals, which posted about, yeah. Biden said, this is ridiculous. Biden said in an interview with ABC News earlier this month, Major was receiving more training after his, training. You're giving them to a trainer. But you, when you get them back, you still have to enforce that routine. You are too much, you are not capable of doing that. You should not have a dog of that caliber. I feel bad for this dog. You turn a corner and there's two people you don't know about and Major moves to protect, said Biden. But he's a sweet dog. 85% of the people there love him. He's just, all he does is lick them and wag his tail. But I realize some people understandably are afraid of dogs to begin with. Champ President, the dog is only doing that because you can't control it. And it's sad because now the dog's probably going to get euthanized. And it's just sad. I don't know if you've ever fostered an animal or not, but you're supposed to go through rigorous testing and background before you're even allowed to take the animal. Because you're taking the animal from a bad situation and putting them in a better situation. You took an animal from a bad situation where it happens. Every pet owner will tell you your dogs get into toxic things. They eat chocolate. If you smoke weed, they eat weed. They eat all kinds of things that they're not supposed to eat, and they will get exposed. Now, that family did the right thing. Is like, we don't want these dogs to die, but we can't afford to take care of this, and this happened, so please help us. Here's these dogs. And you took them from a bad situation and you put him in a worse situation, and now he might get euthanized, and you have to live with that on your conscience because it was the inglorious Joe Biden and you have Trump derangement syndrome. I would have told Biden to right off. You know that man is senile. You can see it in his face when he talks. Why do you think Putin wants to challenge him to a live debate? It's because he knows he'll crush you. Biden, and when you have to, and hard to, anyway. I'm going to pressure. That guy is unfit to be president, and he's certainly unfit to own a fucking dog. Somebody needs to take that dog away from him and bring it to a person that's going to give that dog a much-needed home. If it's not too late to put that dog in training to be a military dog or a service dog, give it a better life. Because it certainly doesn't deserve to be with creepy, sniffy Joe. I'm just saying.